Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Cafe Enchante, and we're just continuing Ill's route, and it's been a few days since I played, because I don't play over the weekend, so here we go. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember exactly what was going on, aside from, yes, okay, Ill was in his room, upset about something. Oh, right, because he doesn't understand that we yelled at him, or he feels weird about... I forget exactly. Weird because we had to babysit him? Whatever. Anyway, it's fine. You remember. I don't. Anyway, moving on. In the end, after sunset, it was time to close the shop, but Il never came downstairs. I went out to buy things for dinner. As I greeted and chatted with townspeople who I'd met along the way, I realized something. Compared to everyone else, I don't hear much talk about Il. Of course, some people express concern for him, like the elderly couple I passed by. But for the most part, nothing conspicuous. It's probably because when Grandpa was still alive, he never got to leave the house. Which explains why Il never realized how peculiar his values and behaviors came off to others. Since Il started coming outside, I don't really want to restrict him too much. Right, I just have to be more careful next time. Carelessness is the greatest enemy. I engraved those words into my heart. Just then, by sheer coincidence, I happened to pass in front of a game store. Sitting in front of the store was a large retail TV which played lively music. I was hit with deja vu as I choked my stare at what played on this TV screen. As I choked my stare? What? Oh, right. Is this an ad for that memorable Otome game Il mentioned? When the title was finally revealed, my hunch was confirmed, so I stuck around to watch it. Ho-ho! It was! The footage and editing, I ended up making a low voice of impression, much like Candace would when... Okay, wow. What the fuck was just like, I get it. I'm really impressed by their editing, but like, that is not fucking... That was coming out all goddamn gibberish. Is it me? Anyway. The owner of Enchante. I have no idea who's talking. Behind me, someone talked from a pretty close distance, and I swung around quickly in surprise. Before I knew it, standing there was a man who I've seen before, but don't really know. He's wearing a hood and his face is almost totally hidden. So if he's showing up in this route, are we to assume then that you're after Il? Because he made a comment in another route, like, him or whatever, and you're like... And he's so shady. Like, come on, he's... Like, come on. You know you're high, like, you're just shady, and you're just there, kind of in the background, like, introduced. It was in the common route. Well, it was in somebody else's route. He made a comment about him or whatever. He might have just been talking to Mikado at the time, but, like, it kind of felt more like you're talking about someone you're interested in, but, you know... Since he's never come up, it's like you're gonna either be a pivotal... You're gonna be the backstabby character in either Il or Miser's Rod. I don't know who, but now you're showing up here, so now it makes me question it. I still don't know. But I'm just saying. Like, he's wearing a hood and his face is almost totally hidden. Almost? No, it's absolutely totally hidden. If I recall, you were Mikado's assistant? Affirmative. GPM Development Division Manager Akira Mikado is my employer. Hello! This is the first time we've spoken, right? I don't have a voice for him, because I don't know what he looks like aside from a sheet, so... I'm Spacey Owaki. It's nice to meet you. Did he not hear me? You. Tell me, why were you watching this video? Huh? This video... He meant the Otome game ad, right? Out of interest, I guess? One of my regular customers has been looking forward to this game's release. Do you mean the Fallen Angel? Oh, yes, it's him. Mikado must have told you, right? Affirmative. He said it was a remake of the first Otome game he ever played. I see. Unlike Mikado, you're not very interested in Il, are you? I refuse to answer. I needn't bother telling a third party. I see. A silent type, or just a bookish person, or shady AF! Girl! Enough idle talk. I have a message from Akira Mikado. From Mikado? For me? When he visited the shop around lunch, he was forced to leave, so maybe he didn't get to tell me. Affirmative. Because of the Amasaki Island incident, I'm here to perform research on Medio on behalf of Kaoru Rindo. I was like, I don't know why. I couldn't get Rindo's name out. Kaoru Rindo. But Kaoru Rindo is so fucking hard to say. It doesn't flow nicely off the tongue. Akira Mikado will be occupied for some time and will be unable to take charge of medical examinations for Karia Abe. Wait, then what should we do in the meantime? From the start, Karia Abe had no inclination to go to GPM of his own volition. Thus, in Akira Mikado's place, I shall head to Enchante to take charge of his examinations. Oh, I see. Mikado must be having a tough time. I understand. I'll let everyone know. Yeah, see, and it's also shady that he's coming because of Karia, but it's an Ill's route, so it makes more sense that he's after Ill. And while you're at it, please come by to enjoy some coffee as a guest, too. Anyway, I'll be going now. Please treat Karia well. Oh, we get to be assistant now?
Ha! I finally found you. So there you are, assistant.
It's like assistant doesn't have a name. His name is just assistant. Good grief. You said you'd pick me up, but yet you totally ignored the time and place agreed on. Oh, wait. It was a... Oh, that was Mikado, not Mikado's assistant. Wow.
Good grief. You said you'd pick me up, yet you totally ignored the time and place agreed on. And because of that, I had to search for you in this crowd. Police officers came up to question me several times.
Because he looks like he's 8.
By the way, I caught a glimpse of a person leaving. Were you speaking with the owner of Enchante? Wasn't this your first time speaking directly? What was your impression of her?
Ordinary. One of the most unremarkable humans I've ever met. She seems totally incapable of controlling that.
So I take it you weren't a fan. A harsh evaluation, but perhaps it's expecting too much out of a cafe owner.
More importantly, Akira Mikado.
Yes?
This advertisement video concerning the amusement mechanism of Otome games. What exactly would that be? I request a detailed explanation. He is definitely not fucking human. I mean, you don't know what you don't get. Okay, yeah, definitely not a human.
Huh?
Yeah, that's the first thing, that he is not a human. And he's interested in Ill if he's interested in the Otome games. And like, why is like, Ill's interested in Otome games? So, do you think he's another angel, maybe? After I... Oh, we're... Right, never mind. We're Ill. I saw him on the side, but I was too busy thinking about Mikado's assistant. Anyway.
After I had secretly watched Spacey depart so that I could go shopping, I returned to my room and began to play Otome games as I normally would.
Wait. After I had secretly watched Spacey depart so that I could go shopping. I'm assuming it's she could go shopping, because he's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? And he's playing Otome games. I think that was a typo. Anyway.
I couldn't shake yesterday's events from mind. As Candace had suggested, it was imperative for me to live as usual. However, my thoughts and actions contradicted. Normally, the stories of love shared between the characters on my screen would cause my heart to flutter. If only I knew. At the moment, I'm having no fun.
That's so sad. You're so devastated in real life that Otome games bring you no joy. Oh, I hurt for you.
I could hardly put on my headphones. Is it really okay for me to be carefree and play Otome games like this?
It's okay, sweetie. Do what you need to do.
Absent-mindedly, I returned my gaze to the Otome game screen in my hands. I pressed the progression button, and the next message is... Thank you for all your help. You're so dependable. The heroine's lines of gratitude to one of the main characters displayed. Dependable. For some reason, while the world itself wasn't too unusual, it caught my eye.
Why, the word itself... Wow, okay, I can't read. While the word itself wasn't too unusual, it caught my eye. I can't read today.
I pondered the meaning of the word which suddenly appeared in my view. Dependable. To rely. To be relied upon. I realized I'd never taken the opportunity, and I searched through my memory. In Otome games, if something happened, it often was the case that a love interest would help out. While some can be a little ill-tempered, very few cause major issues for the heroine or cause trouble for her. In the end, they help the heroine and most often earn her favor. Perhaps that goes for Spacey as well.
I mean, we are a heroine in an Otome game, so I guess, technically.
If she has a similar state of mind as this heroine...
Okay, I think it's funny that Il is now like, I'm going to think of this life as if we are living in an Otome game and act accordingly. Good idea! Not in the real world, but in this case, yeah, because we actually are in an Otome game, so, anyway.
Miser, do you have a moment? I found some unusual coffee beans, so I wanted to try blending them. I wanted your thoughts on the taste and to ask for any advice you have.
Yeah, of course. Mr. Miser is always willing to lend some expertise. Mr. Miser. Well, Mr.
Sorry about this, Canis. I know I asked you to carry everything. Is it heavy?
This is still very light. If there's anything else you need, please don't hesitate to ask. You know, if you're gonna go out alone, you shouldn't walk around so vulnerably. How many times has some low-rate pickup artist bastards pestered you by now? You say that, but how can I not be so vulnerable?
But I'm glad you showed up to help, Ignis. Thank you.
He's like,
oh my god, she's a heroine in an Otome game. I recall daily life here, with the figures of others helping Spacey. In contrast... Spacey, do you have free time today? I have an earnest request for you. If possible, sometime today, I'd like you to take me to this place.
So what? We're helping you. We're the great love interest in your Otome game. Il is the Otome heroine in this case, and we are just playing in the perspective of a love interest. Wow, what? Weird. Cool. I want a game like that now! I want a game where you have, like... Wait, but... Where you have your protagonist, so, like, Spacey, right? But you're playing, instead of she is now dating 5 different guys and going down the path, you're each one of the guys dating her. But it would be like, you'd be one of the girls dating... It'd be kind of like Nord 9, where you were 3 different MCs and you had different boyfriends, but in this case, you'd have to be, like, 5 different girls dating the hot guy. But then there'd only be one hot guy. Huh. I don't know how... Look, I haven't worked it all out, but, like, if you had to be the love interest trying to win the main character, whoa, that'd be... Wait, what? But, like, that'd be so hard to do, because then you'd have to be either... If you wanted to have your 5 beautiful boys... You'd have to be them, and then you wouldn't get to see them as often, because you wouldn't see their sprites, so that would kind of suck. Or you'd have to be, like, one of a few female characters dating one guy, and that just wouldn't be as fun, because you'd only have one pretty boy to look at instead of, like, 5+. You know what I mean? Huh. Wait. I'll think of it. I'll figure it out. Alright. It's an idea. You just throw things out, and somebody else figure that shit out and how that would work. I don't know. Anyway. Or, you know what? Can we just make Otome games for all the best animes? Like, can we just do it? There's so many anime that I just want Otome games made on. That's all I'm saying. It just went in a total different direction, but... Anyway.
Il, I just baked these wonderful cookies you mentioned before. Thank you very much. The cookies you bake have just the right sweetness. I truly adore them. In particular, I like the flavor of these cookies with cocoa kneaded into the dough. When you say that, it makes it worth making them. Oh, I'll clean the dishes, so leave them there. Are there any other snacks you want? It might take some time to practice, but I'm up to the challenge. I see. In that case...
He's like, I'm a burden, basically. But we love you anyway. That makes you different from most other boys who sweep in and save us. We have to... Save you, I guess. Well, I mean...
I stood in reflection until I realized... I am not really doing anything to help Spacey, am I? In fact, I ask her for things, and pampered, and now I've created more work for her.
You're like the anti-love interest, but in an adorable kind of way. It's interesting.
Well, in a way, I suppose nothing's changed since Solon was around. But with her, when it comes to Spacey, for some reason, I have the urge to rebuke myself. Even though right now she's not in low spirits or in any sort of trouble. But that doesn't change how kind she is as Enchante's keeper, for which I am grateful. And therefore, it's something I could do for her. Before I realized it, I had put away my game console and walked in front of a certain room.
What? Who's there?
It's me.
The hermit? I didn't know you ever left your room. Alright, come in.
A hermit? While I was somewhat accustomed to the term, it stung as I entered the room. There's no sign of Canis. He's likely returned to Medio. I decided to get straight to the point. Ignis, there's something I wish to ask you.
What? About a game again? Then don't come to me. Talk to Canis or Spacey.
I shake my head. Then, you call me a hermit, but to change that, what should I do?
What? Ignis is like, huh? Oh my god, I think Il has a fever. We should take him to the hospital. So there you have it. For a while, Mikado's assistant will be stopping by. Don't be surprised if he enters the shop. Just greet him as normal. While they partook in their dinner, I told everyone about my earlier conversation. I already told Rindo, who wasn't here, and the main person concerned, Karya, through my smartphone. I understand. Still, this means an additional patron for Enchante. Yes, just a short time ago I never would have imagined such a change. Although most of these guests aren't decent. That weirdo subordinate, huh? I already have a hunch that he's got quirks. We should be on guard. Just being Mikado's assistant has done huge damage to his reputation. I mean, he also wears a sheet all over it. Like, he's like a walking fucking ghost. Like, what you peeping about? What's that back out there? Is that the giant bird? Or is it just it's probably leaves stuck in the tree. I can't see that far away. What you doing? Oh, you playing outside. Okay. Oh, that reminds me. I forgot to ask his name. I should ask next time. Until he tells me, I go with Mr. Assistant for convenience. As I think about calling him this, I take a glance over at Il, who had finished eating his pancakes and ice cream parfait. Man, he's quiet right now, but he was responding like normal during dinner. It seems he's gone back to his usual self, so I'm relieved. Just then, I'm stuffed. Today's food was pretty good. Ignis finishes eating his last bite. Everyone takes that as a signal to say their after-meal greetings. Then, everyone except for Il stands up from their seats to carry their dishes to the kitchen. As usual, Miser and Canis go to take Il's items. Or so they tried. Il picks up his plate and avoids their outstretched hands. They're both like, huh? Like, everyone's dumbfounded, like, what is going on? What's wrong? He'd always just smile and thank them for taking it. Il looks at the plate in his own hands and his face stiffens into a somewhat dignified look. I'll clean up after myself. With an uncertain manner in his hands, he stacks the plates he was using and raises them up. He's going to break them. Strains to keep them balanced and walks towards the kitchen entrance. You could just hold them in both hands. Like... At that time, at that moment, or everyone's like, huh? Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. A great commotion overtook Enchante. Impossible. Il cleaned up after himself. What in the world has happened? Maybe the Atoma game he's playing had an extremely depressing ending and he's working through the mental shock. Mikado! Wait, no, maybe we should call Mr. Assistant to do a medical exam! Oh, you shut up and think. You got it backwards. You should have been doing this stuff from the start. That's true, but This is too sudden, so I'm worried. Well, he's allowed to change his mind if he wants. Quit fussing over it. Let's clean up to it. Ignis's face suddenly stiffened. He pointed his gaze toward Ill's hands as he entered the kitchen. Oh my god. You idiot! What are you doing stacking big plates on top of cups? If you carry them like that, you'll drop... That night, the fallen angel's redemption was punctuated by the shattering of a dozen dishes. It thundered beautifully throughout Enchante. He stacked the biggest ones into the littlest ones. He looks so sad in his frickin' things. And that look is like, oh, I broke all the dishes. Yeah, you did, sweetie. Moonlight illuminated the empty road. A man desperately ran along the road, unnaturally devoid of any sign of people. Wow. No matter how much he ran, no matter where he fled. Help! Someone! No matter how much he shouted, there was nobody to hear of his crisis, nobody to lend him a hand. There was only the man sprinting in the darkness, and... Whichever path he chose mattered not. A white shadow descended from above. Considering its height and visible eyes, the only thing for certain was that it resembled a young man. Seriously, who are you? Why do you keep chasing me? Of course. A normal young man could never soar through the night sky. It's like, unless they show it to be ill, I don't believe it's ill, and I think it's Mikado's assistant. It's obviously another angel. I don't believe it's ill. But you never know. Maybe he's going crazy in his sleep. This fact alone set the youth apart from being comprehensible to man. He was no different from a monster. Only silence has returned when the young man narrowed his eyes. At the man's feet, many layered, complicated patterns appeared. Something interrupted the man's whimpered holler. What is this? There was a beam of light. It carried the man to another place. 'Cause, like, he's doing his reaping, I guess. The boy checked to see where the man went. Behind him, other white shadows approached and called to him with indifference. Sample recovered. Only 13 more until we recover our objective. Everyone head back and continue searching for suitable subjects. Angel children, without so much as a nod, the white shadows dispersed in silence. Their leader gazes upward toward the night sky. Then he stops himself. He gazes in the direction of a certain cafe and mutters to himself. It is time to restore order. I'm gonna get... Okay. At least the point that they're pointing to, they want you, like, with the shadow, like, what? It can't be ill. I doubt it's ill. It's gotta be another angel. And I just think that because Mikado's assistant has been, like, sus the whole time, now's the only time he's showing up saying he's gonna show up regularly to the cafe. I think it's him. Or he has something to do with it. He might not be this angel, but he has something to do with it, so. Then, I don't think this is ill. I think they want you to be suspicious about it, but I don't think they're trying to, like, because they're gonna try to get him back. 1 week after the Great Commotion, for better or for worse, Café Enchante more or less continued as normal. Celebrity scandals, political controversies, totally unexplained disappearances. Here, Ignis, the hamburger and juice you ordered. I put hot sauce on it, but if it's still not enough, you can use this Tabasco. Oh, thanks. Miser and Canis, you ordered espresso, right? And a side of lemon pie? Rindo, I assume cafe latte is fine. Yes, thanks. By the way, Ignis, are you reading a tabloid? Upon Rindo's question, Ignis threw the bright magazine back onto the table. Yeah, I bought it on a whim, but it looks like they only print a bunch of nonsense. Oh? But the nonsense is what makes it so thrilling. politicians crossing into darkness, or the like. Not even internet headlines can entice the reader like that. Look, Miser's all excited! Miser has his ooh face on. Politicians crossing into the darkness. That's what gets Miser going, like, ill when, like, there's a new atomic. Ah! Well, regardless of fact or fiction, it stirs up the power of imagination. I've never read any of those, so I have no idea. And as the idle chat bantered on, everyone glanced at the chair in the corner. There, shrouded in a heavy air, a fallen angel sits grasping his knees. This is a serious illness. Upon Miser's mumbling, everyone nods. That's right. For some reason, ever since that day, Il has taken the initiative to ask for ways he could help me in the shop. And cause nothing but problems. Il, you don't have to force yourself. You can just carry one plate at a time.
No, that would require 13 trips. An immense waste of time. I learned from my previous failures, so no need to worry.
When he tries to carry dishes, he ends up shattering them into dust. Are you really going to do this, Il?
Of course. You want that top box brought down, right? Is something like this as simple?
What was that noise? Is whoever's in the warehouse okay? Il is buried under a mountain of boxes. I'm sorry, Spacey. Could you assist me in rescuing him? Yeah. When he helps to organize the storehouse, he knocks things over and makes an even worse mess.
I sense rain. And this time, before it begins to fall. Why? I know I took it all in.
Il. When it comes to laundry, you can't just pull and drag it down without removing the clips. When he tried taking in the laundry, not only did he tear the clothes, but he hadn't separated the colors. I told you, you keep tilting it! Can't you pour just one lousy drink? Even while preparing a cup of juice, the cup would be knocked down or spilled. Oh, he's so clumsy! He's like clumsier than clumsy. He is like clumsy if it had a clumsy attribute tied to it. Like, what the fuck? The frequency of the failures was depressing, even for Il. Oh, he's the worst nutter butter. Oh. Il? I approached Il and speak to him gently.
Yes? What do you need from this fallen angel?
I sensed an intense amount of self-loathing behind his words. You know, about all the chores you've been helping with for a while. You don't need to be so gloomy. Everyone messes up.
Everyone?
That's right. At first I messed up all the time, just like you. I'd break dishes or burn the food. Mom and Grandpa kept teaching me, and eventually I became better at doing chores.
I see. So even you...
Il raises his head a little and makes eye contact with me. However, there's still no cheer in his eyes.
Thank you for your encouragement. I think there's truth to it. However, I've broken many things and soiled so many others, yet you don't scold me. Perhaps you've gone beyond anger and have simply given up on me.
That's not... Before I could refuse, Il himself shakes his head at me.
No, never mind, I apologize. It would be presumptuous of me to draw such a conclusion. Spacey, is there something I should help with right now?
Right now? Nothing in particular. I finished with all the orders. No! Sweetie, we're fine! There's nothing!
Il, then how about coming over here?
And there are cookies she baked. Perhaps because he saw Il frowning, Miser made a suggestion.
No, you enjoy yourselves. I'll return to my room.
Il refuses and trudges up the stairs. In the wake of his absence, we all look at each other. He refused cookies.
What happened to him? I've never seen ill like that before.
Me neither.
We neither, but first things first. What inspired him to get so gung-ho about cleaning?
He's been acting strangely ever since the day following the park disturbance. Do you happen to know why? No, I can't think of a reason.
No. Yeah, about that. I, might know why.
Ignis puckers his lips. He starts talking about something that happened 1 week ago. I see. In other words, Il feels responsible for what happened in the park. When he consulted you about it, you gave him, helpful advice, right?
Words escape me. I find it tragic to see someone with such good intentions, only for their efforts to result in disaster.
Rendo's solemn words got even Karia and Kororo to nod in agreement. The fact that the Uniseal is just sitting there, like, listening to the conversation is like, contemplatively nodding. Yes, agree. But all he goes, Q! Rendo's, yes, ill, baba. Nods in agreement. Fucking Uniseal.
Everyone screws up at first, but I just kind of figured it was part of his slacker charm. But now even I pity the poor wimp. He's even more hopeless than any of us thought. So any of you want to own up to this? You know who I mean. The three amigos I'm enabling. That includes you, old man.
Ignis narrows his eyes, glaring right at Miser and Canis. I'm sorry. However, when watching Il, it's just, for some reason, I can't help but fulfill a knightly duty, my desire to safeguard him, because he's a delicate princess. He really is the Otome MC, and we're just like one of the love interests, like, trying to do whatever we can for the clumsy fool who can't do anything on her own. Oh, it's so funny.
In my case, I just assumed that Il would never show any interest in chores. Plus, it seemed like a hazard to propose such a thing. Watching him is no easy feat, you know? Well, thanks to all your excuses, now the guy's suffering. Thanks for nothing, you chucklepucks.
Chucklepucks. Chucklepucks. That's a new one. Chucklepucks. I'm assuming they called it chucklepucks because they weren't going to say you chucklefucks, but still.
Ignis, you goddamn chucklefucks.
I like it. I am sorry. I'm sorry. Can't do both of them at the same time. This began to sound like parents having an argument over how to raise a child. But why?
Why what?
Why isn't what's got Il so bothered? This goes beyond a lack of life experience by now. As Mikado said before, Il possesses immense intelligence and dexterity.
Now that you mention it, before when my smartphone was acting up, he fixed it in a jiff.
Right? Plus he's making a real effort to learn how to help.
We all,
even Kororo. It just doesn't add up. So Karia and I, along with Kororo, who copied us, scratched our chins and thought, I just want to see the fucking Uniseal just scratching his chin with his little flipper. Welcome, As the bell beneath the front door rings, a hooded man appears. I hurriedly straighten my uniform, heading to the entrance to greet him. It's been a while, Mr. Assistant. You came here to give Karia his medical exam, right? Affirmative.
How's it going?
This is awkward. Oh, right, I never asked for your name. Could you tell... We needn't partake in pleasantries. My title more than suffices. I see. Indifferent as ever, Mr. Assistant goes to an empty room with Karia and returns in less than an hour. Progress is favorable. Mind and body are both stable. So long as he doesn't leave here for long periods, his condition will remain as thus. I see. It's good that there aren't any problems, but Karia, did he try to pull anything funny on you?
Did he draw blood?
Did he pull hairs? Did he peel off skin? Miser, what the fuck?
No, it's fine.
Also, Miser, that's gross. Explain yourselves. Why have I drawn your suspicious inquiries? I'm sorry. I guess we're just used to Mikado's unorthodox research methods. I understand. I retract my protest. So even to Mr. Assistant, Mikado is seen as a weirdo. Anyway, I was just thinking, maybe you should ask this guy about Il. Huh? Maybe Il can't do chores and stuff because of some condition. At the very least, it's better than asking a certain weirdo. He's got the medical exam done real quick, too. Since he's an assistant, he must be a non-human researcher. A non-human / researcher. Yeah, exactly. I'm a bit hesitant, but if asking him helps solve Il's concerns, maybe that's best. Is something the matter with the fallen angel? Where is he? About that, to tell the truth, I served Mr. Assistant an iced coffee and explained the general situation. After a short period of silence, he offers me a prompt response. And the answer is clear. It's a matter of simple biology. He has no need for such menial tasks, thus he was likely born with no ability to learn and remember such things. In other words, allow me to use a simpler metaphor. Could you get anything more out of a mere puppet beyond its artistic merit without your manipulation? What? The extreme comparison sent a cold that drops the Sent a cold that drops the temperature inside the shop. I get what they're trying to say, but I feel like it's worded awkwardly. However, Mr. Assistant shows no signs of concern and stands from his seat. I'll leave the payment for my tab here. I'll return for the next medical examination. Hey, please wait a minute. Even I had no idea what I wanted to say. I just wanted to stop him when... Hello, I've got a delivery. Package for Spacey Owaki. Please sign or stamp for it. Huh? Oh, yes. I instinctively go to receive the package. I sign for it as prompted, and the man leaves without even glancing around the shop. What could this be? I don't remember ordering anything. Considering its size and weight, it was something substantial. The person to dispel my questions was someone I didn't expect. Oh, interesting. And that item is for me. I requested for it to be delivered at this time. Huh? And the other day I heard my employer, Akira Mikado, acted rudely in the store. Consider this an apology. What? Oh, no, you didn't have to... If you're gonna apologize for what you just said. I'm sure he heard Ignis mutter, but Mr. Assistant didn't acknowledge it. And now then, excuse me. The one to break the silence left by him was a shrugging miser. Oh well. As expected from the mood maker. However, the mood maker... Yeah. He gives me all sorts of mood. I love him so much. I don't feel so good. I'm stepping out for air. His tone is light, casual even, but his face seemed disturbed as he exits out into the backyard. Throw some salt at the door. That's how you ward off unwelcome pests in this country, right? What a nerd. He doesn't know the half of what's going on here, but he doesn't let that stop him. I understand how you feel, but calm down, Ignis. He was simply stating his opinion as a researcher. Of course, it wasn't pleasant for me either. But getting angry here accomplishes nothing. I like how they're all defending Il. They're like, he may be fucking useless, but don't you just call him a useless puppet? He may be useless, but don't call him useless. Like, that's right. He also performs Karia's medical examinations, so you can't ban him. Yeah, we're the ones who asked him anyway. Let's just forget this happened. Naturally, thinking of that conversation irritates me too. In private would be one thing, but I can't get annoyed in front of a customer. Oh, right. What's this item that Mr. Assistant sent to me? My mood instantly improves. I bring the package from the delivery man to the central table and open it in front of everyone. While wondering what's inside... A new game console? Life is love. That's the Otome game, huh? And an Otome game? It took me several seconds to comprehend his unthinkable choice. Because he was watching you.
Indeed, I must credit the game for providing true insight into the wonderful world of romance. It preaches the value of unconditional love. Ah, what a sentimental thought! Dare I say, I haven't the faintest clue who I'd be today without playing it.
Not only that, it's the one Il talked about before, the remake of his favorite game. You know what's funny? He sends you a Switch and then the game, but it's like, what if I have a Switch already? Just send me another one. How did you know I didn't have one? So it came out already, but why an Otome game? This seems strangely out of pocket for Mr. Assistant. Oh, maybe he thought I was interested because he caught me watching that trailer.
Whoa, awesome! How sick! That console's been sold out for almost as long as it's been out.
Really? Sounds like he went overboard in his apology then.
Not to mention it came from that Poindexter. Did he pay for it himself or just sign off on it? Probably the latter.
Mikado is a researcher and never spends his money. Besides, if it's an apology for the other day, what's the harm in taking it? Also, if you have this game, perhaps it could help regain closeness to Il. And this may be the perfect item to encourage Il out of his gloom. That's true. Il expects that I'll be buying this, and had been looking forward to discussing it. I guess I'll accept it gratefully then. I should show Il. I take the Otome game package out and head to the second floor. Il, can I come in?
Go ahead.
As I opened the door, the dour air from earlier had lessened a bit, but
I'd like to apologize again. Rather than helping you, all I've done is trouble you further.
as expected, Il is still brooding. Not at all. I don't feel troubled. Because, I've learned a lot of things from everyone, too. Actually, it was kind of fun and refreshing to teach you something for once. Despite my gesture of kindness, it couldn't penetrate Il's cloud, and he seemed reluctant to relent. However, I feel us begin to go in circles, so I changed the subject. Oh, right! Here, look at this! Well, not quite. I just happened to luck into it. I can't wait to play the game you hold in such high esteem. I interrupted him with an awkward performance and hold the Otome game up to show him. Suddenly, Il's eyes gleam.
It's that game I told you about. Mine's scheduled to arrive today, too. But to think you'd obtain it before I did.
Yeah, well, I was planning to buy it much later in reality. Seems useless to elaborate. I'm looking forward to playing it. Believe it or not, this will be my first Otome game.
Then I anticipate there'll be much you don't understand. If you have any trouble getting through it, don't hesitate. I have all routes and choices committed to memory.
Yeah, that's what guides are for. But also committing it to memory would be great. Il taps the cover art. At the end of his finger, I see a handsome young man.
For me, this young man's route is a particular favorite. He has many secrets. The further you progress, the more enticing his enigmatic persona.
I see. Then maybe I'll do my best to reach his ending first. When I say this, Il beams with joy.
Once you clear it, we should discuss our thoughts. I suspect it will contain many new events and updated goods. The thought makes my heart skip a beat.
Il seems genuinely ecstatic that I expressed an interest in Otome games. At last, the melancholic fog dissipates. In addition to Il's gestures, his bright eyes and expression convey sincere happiness. It was a sight to behold. Cute. I spilled my thoughts, but not without a giggle.
Cute, you say? If anything, wouldn't you say this young man is more handsome, if anything?
No, never mind. Just talking to myself. Regardless, I appreciate seeing Il cheerful once more. After chatting with Il, I stow the new Otome game in my bedroom. Then... Phew! We passed through the gate safely again. I was finally growing used to passing through the gate to Medio, and I take a breath. Did you forget anything, Spacey? The Queen is some distance from the gate, so returning to Enchante may take some time. No, I'm fine, thanks. Off in a corner of this natural landscape, I stood off to the side, holding a fairly heavy bag with one arm. Contained within are vials and cakes. If you have time, I'd love to invite you to Medio once more for a tea party. Candace delivered this message, and since Titania invited me here, I brought some gifts. Those who came with me are Canis, who hailed from Medio, and one other person.
Spacey, please lend me your bag. I promise to make for a worthy bellhop.
Okay, please do. There are drinks inside, so be careful. I can at least accompany you, so Il had insisted after I informed him of our trip to Medio. He gives me a nod, then carefully takes the bag from me. Then let us be off. I am sure Titania eagerly awaits your arrival. Canis also appeared to be gently watching over him. Canis is like gently holding the bag underneath while nobody's looking. Welcome to Medio. Your casual visits have reached numbers too ridiculous to count. It's confounding, but you're welcome nevertheless. Nonetheless. I forgot the voice we gave Enia because he hasn't been around for a while, but anyway.
Yes, thank you very much. You always give us such amicable welcomes.
No, don't mention it. This is my duty, however unpleasant the task.
I see. I'm not sure exactly what unpleasantness has to do with it, but you're diligent, so keep at it.
Like vinegar and water. Amazing! He made Venia go quiet. Il is oblivious to sarcasm, so naturally the two are enemies. The interaction of two different realms seems to have created unthinkable interactions.
Do you think I'd ever see Venia make a face like that? It was well worth inviting you. It's been some time, Spacey.
It's been a while, Titania. I'm sorry for making you wait.
No worries. I heard your circumstances. The mysterious wormhole seems to have caused you quite some trouble. Canis, thank you for guiding her. Spacey and I are going to have a tea party. Would you like to attend?
I have personal business to attend to, so I must excuse myself.
I understand.
Canis gives a bow, then leaves. Gotta kill some fairies. Or the tree. I pour coffee I bought into a wooden cup. After I hand it to Titania, she closes her eyes and seems to enjoy the aroma wafting up from the cup.
Yes, I can tell just from the aroma. Your skills have improved yet again. I feel as though, in a way, I've become something of an Enchante regular, eh?
Although, it does make me miss Canis's ending where, like, she was at least free. It was, like, so cute, you can at least be free! You don't have to be stuck to the tree and it's gonna kill you. Best ending. That's right. That was before we knew Dromi was a douche canoe. We didn't have to worry about it. Look, okay. Everything was happier then. Alright? We didn't get to be with Miser. Mr. Rindo was still a human. You know. Mikado didn't have to die. I'm just saying, I think Canis's ending was like literally the best one. They've all got a little bit of sour grapes into them after that, you know? But that one's like, I mean, sure, we destroyed the world, but it was coming back and everyone was happy and the fairies lived happily ever after. I'm just saying, right?
Hey! A drink called coffee? Can we drink it? It seems delicious. Smells different than nectar.
Huh?
They seem interested in coffee. Is it possible for non-human fairies to drink it like you and Canis do? The acidic taste may shock them, but I don't think it should be an issue. After all, they drink flower nectar.
In that case, would you like a little? It's bitter if you drink it black, though. Maybe I should add milk and sugar.
And then I'll prepare special cups.
With the wave of Titania's hand, small cups appear on the table in an instant. No matter how many times I saw it, magic was just too unbelievable to behold. I had milk and sugar, a tad more than usual. Then, okay, I'll go hand one out to everyone.
Allow me to assist.
Wait, fallen angel!
Ew! If you go as well, then who will stay to chat with me?
Sorry, Il, but there you have it. Stay and chat with Titania.
If you insist.
Il looks a little discontented, but my lips curl into a smile. I walk around handing out coffee, chatting with the fairies who are gathering around. The fallen angel watches Spacey, at which Titania smirks.
I'm sorry for keeping you here. However, I can't help but think that I've never seen you make such an offer. The matter with Venia was also extremely amusing. With this opportunity, I figure I'd like to familiarize myself with you, since you affiliate with Canis. Yes, I don't mind at all. Would you call this a mutual understanding? Yes, precisely that. And then to get started, come before me. It would be best if we were at eye level.
Heeding Titania's beckoning, Il bends politely before her, resting on his knees as he meets her eye level.
Will this suffice? Yes, thank you.
While saying this, Titania peers into Il's eyes.
I see. I can understand why Venia's sarcasm didn't work on you. Your eyes are truly pure.
They have the same color eyes. And hair, actually. Oh my god, they're related. I'm just kidding, but... It's as though they're untainted by all the goods and evils of this world. Even the small fairies of Medea lack eyes so clear of vivacity. Exactly what kind of life would one have to lead to acquire such a gaze? Curiosity begins to swirl in Titania's heart. Much like she had once done to Spacey, she pulls Il's cheeks toward her with both hands.
I've grown interested, Il. Tell me more about yourself.
She stares deep into his heart, pressing her forehead into his. Oh, what's happening? She just broke him! She broke our angel!
Thank you! So this is the coffee the queen likes so much. Wow, amazing! It changed color when you put that white liquid in!
The fairies watch excitedly as the milk forms patterns as it dissolves in the coffee. Something so simple as preparing a simple drink was amusing to these magical creatures. Oh, just be careful not to get burned, okay? And if it's too bitter, I'll add more milk. As I finish handing out coffee to the last fairy, suddenly a strained voice rings out from Titania. Huh? Behind me, I turn to face the back of the hall.
What exactly are you?
Il has fallen onto his backside, and Titania is trembling as she looks down at him, her face pale. An evil angel? Venia and I rush over at virtually the same time. You bastard! What did you do to Her Highness? Il, what happened? I also ask my question right after, and Il slowly stands up. However...
She butted my head, became frightened, then pushed me away.
What does that mean?
I'd ask the same. How should I know?
Saying you don't know won't suffice. I was a fool for letting down my guard because of your harmless face. What did you...
Oh, wait! Venia, this is a misunderstanding. This was my own doing for giving in to curiosity. Il is not aired, not in the slightest.
Is that true?
Yes. Ask any of the fairies flying around us.
All the little fairies flying around Titania nod in unison. They corroborated her story. While his face still looks unconvinced, he seems to understand. Venia's clear vigilance is lifted. Il tilts his head in puzzlement.
What exactly was the meaning of this?
I don't even know what happened. It seems like Il didn't do anything after all. What exactly could have frightened Titania so much? And what are you, is what she asked. That's interesting. Afterwards, upon Canis's return, we decide to end today's tea party. Anyway, Titania, see you again. Sorry for intruding, Venia.
I thank you for the gift of nectar as well. We shall use it for honey lattes.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. I'll try making that tomorrow. Oh my gosh, she's going to tell us what she saw? Your Highness, are you sure you're okay? Your face is still... Is it something to do with that fallen angel?
I told you I'm fine. You're far too wary of outsiders. More importantly, Venia.
Yes? What is it?
Concerning my deeds in response to Il earlier, be sure not to mention this to anyone. Of course, that includes Spacey and Canis.
Very well. Your wish is my command, Your Highness. She's not gonna tell us what she saw, bitch! What the fuck?
If this isn't some sort of mistake on my part, that is, one with such a pitiable soul.
So you saw some bad shit happen?
In any case, I managed not to drop any luggage, so we can consider the accompaniment a grand success.
The next day, Ignis and Rindo both happened to visit the shop. While sipping a freshly made honey latte, Il speaks proudly of his successful visit to Medio. Yeah, we've all been through the portal, big guy. Well, I think progress is still progress. And by the way, where are Miser and Canis? The weather's nice, so they went off for a walk at the park. I see. Well, I understand the feeling it's unsettling for my surveillance targets to be wandering around everywhere. Middle-aged men sure have a lot of troubles. Is that even related to middle age? When Rindo makes his objections, talk of the weather reminds me of something. Oh, I almost forgot. That reminds me that today I plan to hang everyone's sheets. Did I mention I was going to do it today? Oh, today I almost forgot that today. It reminds me that today I plan today to hang everyone's sheets today. Today. Luckily, it's still morning today. Just figured we needed today in the sentences more. I collect them all, even from the vacant rooms. Just then, I catch a glance of Il. As expected, he starts to squirm, indicating his desire to help. However, likely due to the memory of his failures, it seems he can't ask it himself. In that case... Il, would you like to help?
Yes?
It's actually cute, because, you just remember being asked to help you. Can you... Cleaning windows was the worst as a kid. We're going to clean the windows today. Oh, God, why? No. And yet at the same time, now as an adult, if that's all my mom made me do, let's go clean the windows. All right. Like, really? That's it? Okay. Just please don't make me fucking dust. I'll clean the goddamn windows. Okay, all the dust's out, so it's all prepared. I look up while thinking about the laundry rope strung tightly in the backyard. Don't you have to wash them before you hang them out? It's like, I took the sheets and I'm going to hang them outside. You still have to fucking wash them. Like...
Spacey, what should I do?
Let's see. All that's left to do is hanging the sheets. Give him the big sheets, because we trust him. Maybe I'll entrust him with the sheets from Ignis's, Canis's, and the empty rooms. The big sheets are hard to hold up, and they block your view. Can you handle that?
Please leave it to me. If I fly, I can drop them down onto the string, so it won't even be necessary to drag them.
I see. I'd classify that as a shortcut, but I guess that's fine. Just be careful not to let the wind carry them away. After Il hangs the largest sheets in his fallen angel form, he returns to his normal form, and together we work to hang the other sheets. Be sure not to just hold one spot and wrinkle it up. After pulling it taut, could you hang it on the string?
And pull it taut to avoid wrinkling. Is this correct?
Yeah, like that. Then you secure the ends with laundry clips, and that's the end. For now, Il's work is going well. But as for my part... Alright, there. Considering my height, it's pretty hard to hang up the wide, thick sheets. I have a little place to give Il advice, I think to myself, and smile bitterly. What? My premonition was spot on. I ended up stepping on the end of the sheet as I spread it out. Without enough time to release my hold on the sheets, my body shakes and I lose balance. Spacey! Just as I'm about to fall to the ground, Il catches me. See? You're rescuing the damsel in distress, Il! You're totally doing the right thing. I must have worried him. He peers into my eyes with a sharp look of concern.
Are you okay?
Thanks. I'm fine, thanks to you. As for the sheet I was holding, the edge I stepped had dirtied. It's otherwise fine, but... the edge I stepped on. Despite catching the full weight of my body, Il's body isn't even slightly shaking in strain. Probably because you weigh like 80 pounds soaking wet. Stop it. Il's pretty slender, but also tall. Are we getting a CG of him holding me? Because that'd be lovely. Oh, yeah, here we go. You know what the only thing that sucks about his CGs? Why are they always sideways? Like, I kind of get it because you wanted to draw more, but they're totally like, a lot of his have been, I feel like his have been crooked. A lot. And it's a beautiful one, but it's crooked. Oh, so this was from the date. Oh. Wait, it reminded me of the time he whisked me away while we flew on that date. Okay, see, I didn't, that was in the common route, and we skipped through some. So okay, that's why it's sideways. I was like, I feel like a lot of his are no, it's just because this is a flashback to the one that was sideways. Okay. In times like these, he's just as reliable as everyone else. Like, he's beautiful in this CG, but it's kind of disappointing because it's like he's almost completely covered with the text box. Alright, it wasn't a new one, but flashback to one that I forgot about. Except for seeing it sideways, it was kind of like, aren't a few of them like this? I unexpectedly started thinking of such things when...
It's good that you're safe. Please look over there, Spacey.
Il cradles me in his arms, then happily points to the center of the backyard. There I see properly hung up sheets swaying pleasantly in the wind. The ones I asked Il to do.
How does it look? Do you notice anything strange? All feedback is welcome. No need to be shy.
I stand back up and go to check them. They aren't wrinkled and in proper shape. Yeah, all good and perfect score. Oh, all good, a perfect score. I turn back to him and smile. Il's wings stretch out, seemingly involuntarily. He gently grasps my hands and... Huh? Is Il using some sort of magic? Before I realize it, my body floated gently in the air beside him. Il? I'm guided by his hands. After rising up past the roof of Enchante, we complete our ascent. We stand atop the roof together, seeing the ripples of light eke through the clouds. Not too unlike the night sky on our date. What a surprise. I gaze concertedly at Il, taken by surprise at the spectacle of it all.
I'm glad. Truly. And this is the first time I helped you with your work without any failures.
His hands holding mine are trembling slightly. I finally realize something. I'm sure he took more happiness from this success than I could ever imagine. Enough for him to subconsciously fly up into the air. Among the gentle wind, he flaps his wings once more. Oh, he has like such sad eyes. It's such a pretty CG, but he has sad eyes.
I have spent tireless hours thinking all this time about how I may be of use to you. Until now, I always left such affairs to others around me, which I had been perfectly content with. Because it's efficient, because I can't do anything. However, recently, for some reason, it made me feel terribly empty. Everyone else was so adept at helping you, but I hated that I could not in return. Hence, I began to think.
Il's eyes are straightforward. They also appear to be slightly teary.
My failures became too numerous to count. Even today is nothing more than an exception to the rule. Still, even so, I can bask in the glory of this moment. The moment when I finally accomplished a task you asked me to perform.
As he smiles at me, I grasp his hand back and say, "Yeah, thank you, Il, for your effort and your feelings. I'm thrilled to hear it. I can't tell you how proud I am that you decided to change on your own. Because I'm sure your world was already complete, in a way."
My world, you say?
Yep, ever since my grandpa was around, you had Miser and Candace supporting you. You had so many people to help you. I don't blame you for how you were. But you broke out of it yourself, despite all the failures, despite what others said, and despite feeling the burden of guilt. You weren't content to rest on your laurels and stay hidden in your own little world. Hey, there is nothing wrong with staying hidden in my own little world, game. Shut up. Those actions of yours, from my point of view, it's even better than traveling to another realm. It's one thing to talk about making major changes to your life. However, actually doing them requires major decisiveness and action. As I tell him,
It was nothing like that. All I did was volunteer to do what others had done all along.
A little embarrassment shows itself despite his effort to hide it. I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but lately you've become totally human, Il.
Become human? Me?
Il become human. Yeah, to be honest, when I first met you, you were hard to read, which troubled me. But now it's the opposite, I smile and tell him. As of late, you've taken the initiative to do all kinds of things, and you've made new experiences. Each one seems to have affected you. If it was you before, I doubt you would have been so moved by accomplishing such a little task. Oh, was it actually rude to say that an angel is like a human? At my concern, he slowly shakes his head in response. In the sunlight, his beautiful green-white hair sways and shines. Green-white. It really doesn't, it looks more like blondish. It's kind of funny because sometimes they'll say things and like, that's like fucking green. That hair is goddamn green. And like this time they're like green-white and you're like, it's barely, like, there's no green.
No.
Il's, well, his lips, his eyes, his cheeks. Oh, that's so cute. I know we're over time, but like, all become like a flower in full bloom.
Not at all. I would be very happy if I became more human.
In this moment, he had the most beautiful smile I'd ever seen in the whole world. It's different from his usual, well-ordered and gentle smile. It's an enchanting, shining, beautiful smile that seems to contain his thoughts themselves.
I always had a vague understanding that I'm more empty than others, separated by a deep gap from those around. Even though I appear the most like a human, I seem to be the furthest being from a human. I was made to understand that countless times. It was impossible for me to fill the gap, so I gave up, giving in to accepting the compromise of those around me. But now, you call me human, and that I'm much like you.
The temperature of his hands wrapping around mine rises.
I'm elated to see where this change takes me. And there's no mistake that you're the one who caused this change, Spacey.
Me? Il nods.
You never said things like, that's just how he is, and you never wrote me off. You expanded my world from that small, enclosed garden called Enchante. You thoroughly taught me one thing after another. You never lost hope in my will to change.
All of his joy seemed to well up at once. His words, asserted and delivered with confidence, were poignant.
All I want to do even more, all for you. I want to do even more, all for you. I want to change for your sake. I want to be someone who you can depend on. How dare I express these feelings inside of me? After all of the Otome games I've played, after all the scenes I memorized. Even so, I find it impossible to properly express my gratitude for you.
His smile, his kindness. What a wonderful smile. I naturally start to smile myself. With a tad of bashfulness, but thoughts stir within me. Il, I like your smile. I couldn't hold back the desire to express that, so I say it without hesitation. However, as the words escape my mouth, a wave of embarrassment crashes over me. That's why, going forward, let's keep trying all kinds of things, Il.
Yes.
Like that, I said such an innocuous line to try to hide my embarrassment. That's perfect timing. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna wrap this part up here because we're way over. But we were just in the middle of that moment. We couldn't stop. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.